Hello my nectarines, Nono here and I'm back with another video. So I'm here to keep my promise, and I'm finally doing the tutorial that you guys requested a couple of weeks ago, and that is how I get my full cover tips to sit so naturally on my natural nails. I am picking the worst full cover tips I own. These ones from Shein are bulky and they're difficult to work with and they're just not fun, and a lot of people who actually have bought these have left comments or like mentioned it to me that these aren't the nicest tips. So I want to show you guys that you can customize any full cover tip, any so that it fits you like a glove. So the first step is just to make sure that your tip fits you from sidewall to sidewall. The packaging actually says that these tips are soft gel. I am not sure, you guys, but if I do bend them, there's a little bit of a white line there. But if I try unbend them, the line disappears, which it doesn't usually happen with plastic tips. So maybe they are soft gel, but we will say they are for today. And secondly, I want to mention that I'm only going to be showing you guys how to customize my thumbnail. That way I can really focus on all the tips I want to give you. So naturally, I tend to have a more squared out cuticle area, whereas these tips tend to be more rounded, and immediately I'm at a disadvantage here because the minute I push back my cuticle or place it around my cuticle area, I'm going to have this gap on the side, which is so annoying because all the gel glue that I'm going to use to apply is definitely going to ooze out from there. So I want to show you guys how I fix this problem. I'm going straight in with my hand file and I'm bringing in that cuticle area, and while I'm doing this step I'm being extra careful because you don't want to over file this area. Secondly, I'm not applying a lot of pressure and I'm making sure to constantly check on my natural nail. So I'll file a little bit, check, file a little bit, check. That way I can see if I'm making good progress or if anything needs changing. I've only filed a little bit and I can already see that I've significantly reduced that annoying gap in the corner, but we're going to continue filing and customizing this nail. After a couple of minutes, I'm already so much happier with how the tip is sitting around my cuticle area. It looks and feels just right and it's not uncomfortable at all. And just to further customize the nail, I did file the side walls as well, just a little bit. And now when I place it on my nail, you guys can see I've completely gotten rid of that annoying little gap that I had, and the nail looks much more natural and it feels so comfortable. The last step I like to do when customizing my tips is to thin out my cuticle area using a hand file. This step is my favorite, you guys, because it guarantees that I have the most natural looking cuticle area every time without fail. I do not like using an e-file for this step because if the e-file bit is not hitting the correct area as you're thinning out, you can end up having this annoying little lip as your gel X or full cover tips starts to grow out. Also, if you're someone who's very uncomfortable around e-files, you can give yourself rings of fire, which can be very painful. So trust me when I tell you, just thin them out before you apply them, and it just guarantees that you have the perfect cuticle area. We are finally done customizing the cuticle area, and as you guys can see, the tip is sitting perfectly, perfectionously. I mean, come on. I'm so happy with how it is looking. Now let's get to applying the nail. Lately, I've been really enjoying using the Supreme foundation from Mascara. The viscosity is just perfect and it doesn't flow all over my cuticle area, but you can also use Builder gel or whatever nail glue gel you have. One last tip that I want to show you guys is once I've placed the nail on, I usually just do this secretively without showing you guys, but I will leave a little mark that I'll make like a zaga on the nail. That way way I am able to tell exactly where I want my gel glue to stop. That way I don't get a lot of overflow, and I know exactly where to stop applying pressure and flash cure the nail. Notice how also I am brushing on and I'm not just applying a huge glob, and this just also makes sure that I don't have too much product. Once I'm happy with how I've placed my gel glue, I'm going to place my nail at a 45-degree angle and then gently start applying pressure. Now, because I've marked where I want to stop, at this point I also can see where my natural nail ends. I quickly give it a flash cure, that way it doesn't move all over the place. And this is how the nail looks after the application. So clean, seamless. I don't have any gel on my natural nails, which is the most important thing. Overall, I'm very happy with the application, and now we're going to just trim down the nail. It's a little bit too long for me. Do final customizations by filing the side walls and the free edge, and then we are going to apply some gel because, like, you know, the nail is a little bit too plain. Before I apply the gel, I'm going in with my sticky bond. You can also use a pH bond or a gel primer. Now we're going to go in with this beautiful blue color from Nail Reserve. Oh, this blue is just everything. I love it so much. By the way, I do have a discount code for Nail Reserve, and it is Nectar Nails, and it will give you 50% off on their site, which is awesome. Last step is to just grab a little fine liner brush, and I go around my cuticle area just to make sure that the gel is sitting very nice. And because I've prepped my cuticle area so well, you guys, I'm able to really get in close without any issues, and this just makes the overall manicure look very, very precise. Lastly, I'm gonna go in with my top coat, and this is the final result for today's tutorial. I really hope you guys found it informative and picked up some tips and tricks for your own Gelix application. If you guys have any other tutorials you'd like for me to do for you, let me know down in the comments. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day wherever you are. Love you. Bye.